Today, we need to have an uncomfortable conversation. You're saving money. You're actually doing everything right. You've got your budget spreadsheet, you're cutting back on the daily lattes, you're even meal prepping on Sundays until your fridge is nothing but Tupperware. And yet, somehow your savings account barely moves, or worse, it feels like you're running on a treadmill at max speed while everyone else is passing you by. So what is going on? Why does it feel like you're working so hard to save but getting absolutely nowhere? Here is the brutal truth most financial gurus won't tell you. You aren't failing at saving. The system is failing you. It is designed to make your savings shrink. And if you don't understand how the machine works, you're going to keep losing ground no matter how disciplined you are. Hey, I'm Finn, and this is The Real Cost Finance, where we talk about the money truths nobody else wants to tell you. Let me show you exactly what I mean by the system being rigged against your savings account. Let's say you've got $10,000 in your savings account right now. Pretty good, right? You worked hard for that. Maybe it took you a year, maybe 2 years to save up, and you're getting, 0.5% interest from your standard big bank? Maybe 1% if you're lucky? So at the end of the year, you've earned $50 to $100. Awesome. Go buy yourself a nice dinner. Except, here's what nobody tells you. Inflation right now is running somewhere between 3% and 4% annually. Some years it's higher. What that means is your $10,000 is losing $300 to $400 in purchasing power every single year. Do the math with me. You're earning $50 in interest but losing $300 in value. You are going backwards by $250 a year and you didn't even know it. This is what I call the savings illusion. Your bank account number goes up slowly so it feels like you're winning. But what that money can actually buy, that's going down fast. Think about it. 5 years ago, that $10,000 could have bought you a decent used car. Today, good luck finding that same car for under $15,000. Your savings didn't shrink in dollar terms, but in real terms, in what you can actually do with that money, you lost ground. And here's the thing that really gets me. Banks know this. They absolutely know this. They're making money hand over fist by taking your deposits and lending them out at 7%, 8%, sometimes 25% on credit cards. They pay you less than 1%, charge the next guy 15%, and pocket the difference. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking you're being financially responsible by keeping your emergency fund in a standard savings account. And you are responsible. Don't get me wrong, you need an emergency fund. But if that's all you're doing, you're playing a game where the house always wins. So what's the solution? Well, let me back up for a second because this is where most finance people go off the rails. They start screaming at you to invest everything in crypto or meme stocks. Look, investing is part of the answer, but it isn't the whole answer. First, you need to identify the 3 enemies of your wealth. Enemy number 1 is inflation. We already talked about him. He's the silent killer. Enemy number 2 is lifestyle inflation. This one is sneaky. You get a raise at work, right? A 5% bump feels good, so you upgrade your apartment, start eating out more, subscribe to 3 new streaming services. Nothing crazy, just small upgrades. But look at the math. That 5% raise, inflation ate 3% of it already. Lifestyle inflation ate the other 2%. So your income went up, but your savings didn't. I see people making $50,000 who feel broke. Then they make $100,000. And they still feel broke. It's not because they're bad with money. It's because their lifestyle expanded to match their income, and they never actually saved the difference. Enemy number 3 is the savings account trap. This is the idea that savings accounts are safe and therefore good. And look, the FDIC insures up to $250,000. Your principal is protected. You won't lose the dollars, but being safe from losing your money is not the same as being safe from losing purchasing power. That money in the bank is guaranteed to lose value to inflation. Guaranteed. That's not safety. That's a slow leak in your tire. So here is what you actually need to do. I'm going to be straight with you. This isn't sexy. It's not exciting. But it works. Step 1. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Notice I said high yield, not your regular bank paying 0.01%. Get an online account paying 4% or whatever the current competitive rate is. This is your emergency fund. Its job is not to make you rich. Its job is to be there when the car breaks down. Step 2. Everything beyond that emergency fund needs to work harder. And this is where people get scared. They think working harder means gambling. It doesn't. It means being strategic. Look at a CD, certificate of deposit. Right now, a 1-year CD might pay you 5%. That beats inflation. It's FDIC insured. It's boring, but it's a win. Or look at treasury bonds, specifically I bonds. These are literally designed to keep pace with inflation. You can't lose money, and you won't lose purchasing power. Step 3, and this is the one that scares people. You have to start investing, not gambling. Investing. An S&P 500 index fund is basically a bet that the American economy will continue to exist and grow. Over the last 30 years, that's been a safe bet. The historical average return is about 10% a year. Compare that to your savings account's 0.5%. That gap is the difference between retiring comfortably and working until you're 75. But, and listen carefully, you don't invest money you need next year. The market goes up and down. If it drops 20% next month, you need to be able to wait for it to recover. That's why you keep the emergency fund separate. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Finn, I don't have extra money to invest. I'm barely covering my rent. I hear you, and if that's you, we need to talk about the income side, not just the savings side. Because here is another brutal truth. You cannot save your way to wealth on a poverty income. If your rent takes 60% of your paycheck, no amount of budgeting will build generational wealth. You need to increase your income, period. That might mean new skills, a new job, or a side hustle. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's necessary. But if you are making decent money and still feeling broke, check your leaks, subscriptions you forgot about, bank fees, insurance you haven't shopped around for in 5 years. A $15 subscription doesn't sound like much, but 5 of them is $900 a year gone. And don't even get me started on car payments. I know people making $80,000 a year who can't save because they're driving a $60,000 truck with a $700 monthly payment. That is not a car. That is a ball and chain. My rule? If your car payment is more than 10% of your take-home pay, you can't afford it. I don't care how shiny it is. You are sabotaging your future for a depreciating asset. The bottom line is this. Your savings aren't growing because the traditional advice, work hard, save cash, keep it in the bank, doesn't work anymore. Maybe it worked for our grandparents. But that world is gone. In today's economy, cash loses value. You need to play offense, not just defense. In an inflationary environment, defense loses every time. So here is your action plan. Check your savings rate. If it's under 4%, move it today. Calculate your 3 to 6 month emergency fund and keep it liquid. Put everything else to work in assets that actually grow. Start small if you have to. Even $100 a month into an index fund is infinitely better than $100 dying a slow death in a checking account. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. I'm Finn, and this is The Real Cost Finance. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more uncomfortable truths about money. The system might be rigged, but now you know how it works. Stop playing by their rules. I'll see you in the next one.